Hey ladies and gents, this is Linda, Chic777, and today I'm coming at you with the design team project for Reneabouquets. Now this project I made for a friend of mine, and I have made her things before, but I saw this piece at a garage sale, and it was, or I guess still is, but much prettier, a metal butterfly trivet, and she loves butterflies, and so I thought, oh my gosh, I could totally do something with that. As soon as she sees this, she's going to know it's for her, because the colors that I have done on this project match the colors that she is doing while redoing her new craft room. And I kind of am loving these colors. You know, my room is done in kind of the traditional shabby chic of pinks and creams and browns, some vintage things. So I'm loving making things for her because I get to use these colors. But I fear one day she's going to come at me and say, no more, because I'm out of room. I might cry when that happens. But anywho, I am going to move my sign out of the way and bring this into view, and we'll get a little more up close and personal with it. So the width of this, I think, is probably about 11 inches, if I remember right. And this way is about 7 inches, the length of it. Let me turn it like this so you can see it a little bit better. I know, right? Super cute. When I started out with this, it was black. But I decided I'm going to keep it black, but I'm going to repaint it black and, you know, kind of get some texture and stuff on it. But when I got done with it, I'm like, I don't like it. So I scraped the whole thing off, and I had went to Walmart, and I found the only color of gray chalk paint that they had, and that's what I painted this in. I added some sand to the chalk paint to give it some texture. Her room, obviously, as you can see, is in grays and kind of aquas and whites. Such a soothing color palette. So like I said, or I'm thinking, really fun to create this project. I'm going to flip this over for just a second so I can kind of show you the texture. There you go. I didn't put a lot of sand in it because I didn't want a real heavy texture. I just wanted it light, but that's kind of the texture over the whole thing. Okay, and I used a really fine grain sand. For those of you who've been following me for a long time, you know I've done this technique. But those of you that are new to my channel, I will often mix just really fine grain sand that you can get at any craft store or even Walmart into acrylic paint. And I just mix it until I like the thickness of it and go from there, paint it on. And usually, I'll give you this, usually when I do mix, it's probably about, a third a cup or so of sand. And then I think those bottles of paint you can buy are like 2 ounce, you know, the Delta paint or whatever. They're about 2 ounce bottles, Martha Stewart. So that's kind of about the ratio I use. So I go a little bit thicker than that, but that's kind of about the base ratio. Okay, so let's get a little more up close with this. A lot of texture. I like how it turned out this time because I just wasn't feeling the black background color. I thought the aquas and the whites would kind of pop off of it, but I just didn't like it. Okay. Yeah, I am just really happy with this. I would keep it, but I'll give it away. Anyway, so of course, as you see, a lot of glitter glass going on, a lot of splatters. The glitter glass, once I got the paint on, then I went to town getting the glitter glass on there, and I used, for my adhesive, as I usually do, I use Prima 3D matte gel. I use this for the adhesive. I'll usually paint it on with the paintbrush, and then I'll pour my glitter glass on top of that. I've tried to like dip my paintbrush in it, you know, in the matte medium and then into the glitter glass and paint it on that way, and I find it just clumps and stays on the brush. So I like to paint the adhesive onto the project and then pour my glitter glass or micro beads, as I'll show you in a minute, over the top. So the glitter glass I used was a beautiful teal color, and this other is actually a light gray color. Okay, and let me show you that really quick. Here's the beautiful teal color. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And then the light gray color, I love it because it's just so soft. Look at that. Just a beautiful tone of that gray shade. Okay. So sprinkle that over the top of the adhesive, and I just kind of went, you know, around kind of certain areas on the butterfly, adding the glitter glass, kind of keeping it balanced on both sides in the areas that I added to. And then what I did is I took, to get the splatters, the bottom half, it's a little bit on the top, but on the bottom half I kept it mostly the white splatters, and I used Prima Heavy Gesso, mixed water into it to really water it down and then flicked it onto the project. Okay, and then on the top I've got more, a little bit of the white spots, but a lot more of the teal splatters on the top. Okay, and what I used for those colors was Prima, again, the Color Bloom sprays. Renee has them in her shop. I used two colors, this Glistening Waves, and then the other one I used was Soft Teal. Okay, and, you know, I splattered one, then I splattered the other, and you can kind of see it over on this side too. And I think somewhere in the mix of that, I took some of the Color Bloom sprays, and I just kind of sprayed it on there normal, not splatter, and then I used like my water bottle and sprayed it on there, so it would just get a really nice kind of watered down look. Just giving it a little, can you even see that? There we go, a little tone of the... Oh my gosh, my nails match. Ah, that's funny. Giving it a little tone of the color, but not, you know, interfering so much with the splatters. Okay? So that's all the texture on my background. And then what I did is first off, I needed something, because obviously you can see all the spaces of the design of the butterfly, and I needed something in the center to be able to kind of glue to, but also if it showed through the frame, you know, the frames I used, the resin frames, I wanted it to be pretty. Okay, so what I did is, one of the pieces I used, which you could see on here, is this chipboard swirl, and this is by Blue Fern Studios. It is found in Renee's shop, and this is just this is just the circle flourish, and she's got a couple of different designs of flourishes, and this flourish has, which I covered quite a lot of it up, but I'll show you up close, it's got kind of a floral edge along on this side, okay? And it came, back to my original thought, on this beautiful background paper, you know, in the packaging, and I thought, well, that is just perfect shade, so I cut a couple pieces of this out, one piece to fit on the back. I'll show you it, it's not pretty, but you'll be able to see it right here. So just one piece on the back, so I have stuff to glue to, and then one smaller piece to fit behind this smaller resin frame right here. Okay, so that was kind of my background. And then here is the flourish up close, and of course it came, you know, in a cardboard color, a chipboard, and you can see some of the beautiful floral pieces coming off. I love like the swirls coming off and kind of the polka dots on it. Okay, and there's a beautiful big flower in this area, but you can't see it. Anyway, so what I did is embossed it. I did like a double embossing with Recollections embossing powder in, I think it's called Snow. It's just basically a white. And what happened the second time I embossed it, it kind of turned out cool. It did a little bit of like a bubbling because I held the heat on it a little bit too long. But I kind of like that because it added some really cool texture onto this piece. And I originally had it cut in half, because you can kind of see here, I'll point out my mistake to you, because I was going to use like half on this project and then use the other half on my next design team project, but it needed something up here. So I went ahead and kind of, you know, spliced it back together to give it a little bit of something. But I love how this, you know, these pieces just kind of come out from the butterfly. It's really cool. Give me just a second here. Mouth's getting a little dry. Little sip of water, that'll hold me over for another 10 minutes. Okay, so then on top of that started my layering process. As you can see, all the layers. So this is a resin frame by Prima. It's just for my stash. It's a circle frame. Okay, and then on top of that, I layered this Prima spray. It's kind of got acrylics in it. It's like a real pretty blue and green acrylic spray and some green leaves. I just thought it was really super pretty, and I kind of just cut like the spray in half and used part of it on here. Just perfect coloring. Layered that on top. And then I went to town layering some flowers, of course. This is just a Recollections flower. It's from my stash. This beautiful flower here, this fabric flower, white chiffon flower, is from Renee's shop. These are my favorite fabric flowers ever. Can't get enough of those. This rolled rose, you guys know I love rolled roses. This is from Jody Lee Butterfly Collection by Prima, and Renee has these in her shop. I've got a flower here. This kind of curly flower is from Prima. It's from the French Riviera collection. It's also in Renee's shop. These flowers, I've got one here in teal and another one here in teal, again from Renee's shop. And these are the Petaloo flowers. They're called Texture Blossoms. I love them because they're those real, the fabric on them is really cool. Just nice kind of wispy, airy fabric. And then this almost feels like a velvet. Petaloo's had these out for a while. They've got them in all sorts of different shades and stuff. And Renee's got quite a few, you know, colors in her shop. At least the last time I looked. They might be dwindling down some. Anyway, so those are those flowers. And then this one is kind of a new release in her shop. You can barely see it, but I've got one out here to show you. This layered flower here. Let me grab it down below and show you. That is this right here. It's just a thread on the back. There we go. These are called the 3-layer lace flower appliques. Okay. She also has it in double layer. I chose the 3-layer because, you know, I thought I might want to take it apart. Because look how cute this little bottom layer is. It's like a tiny little doily. And it's just sewn on there, of course. So easy to take apart, and then, you know, I could have like this layer here if I wanted to scrunch it in, and then another couple of layers right here. Super cute. Excuse me, these come in a set of 2, and they come in a couple of varieties. More than a couple. But you can either get them in a set of 2 of both of them white, which is what I did, or you can get them in a set of 2 in Dusty Rose, I believe was the color. Or you can get a mixed pack of 1 white and 1 Dusty Rose. And they are just about that size. You can see it in the palm of my hand, which is just almost 2 inches. Okay, perfect. And I just love these. They just look so feminine and dainty. Super cute. Okay. Anyway, so that's that flower. Then amongst all my flowers, I had these fun little die cuts that I think my friend P sent me. Die cut vine here and here. So I took those in the flowers. Obviously, before I did, they were in white. She die cut them in white for me. But I embossed them with that snow embossing powder to match the chipboard flourish. And I just kind of stuck them inside the chiffon flower. And then this one's stuck inside the Recollections flower. I just thought it would just make it look all full, obviously. Let's see. So back to this. So on top of, you know, all my flowers, on top of this larger resin frame is a smaller square resin frame. It's just for my stash. Those are the frames that Michael's just came out with not too long ago, the $1.50 bin. layered that there, and then on top of it, this is a Woodward Dream. This is by Heidi Swap. She has packages of wood veneers, and I sprayed it in both shades of those color bloom sprays, the soft teal and the glistening waves. And then originally, I was going to do almost the whole thing covered in these beautiful mini micro beads in silver. Okay, so I put my 3D matte gel, a little bit of a story, so I'm going to set this down. I put my 3D matte gel over the top, and then I poured these micro beads on top of that. These come from Renee's shop, and she's got several colors, and I am talking, they are tiny. You want to make sure you have like a little tray underneath, okay, to catch all these beads, because they will go all over. So I had painted the top of my Woodward with the matte gel, and then I poured the micro beads on top, and then I decided I hated it. So while it was still wet, obviously I went and wiped all the beads off the top. Well, when I had painted the matte gel on the Word, some of the the gel kind of got on the side of the Woodward. And when I wiped the beads off, of course, the beads kind of stayed on the side on the matte gel. And I thought, well, that looks stinking cute. So I left that. So, super cute little happy accident. Okay? Anyway, and then to kind of carry out, the beads, I used, again, the 3D matte gel and the micro beads over this area, kind of on the flowers, the butterfly onto the metal butterfly. Up in here, and then a little bit over here. Okay. And then on top of the resin frame, this is a little Prima resin swirl. These are in Renee's shop. They come in a package of 4 Shabby Chic resin swirls. This is the smaller swirl. And then from my stash, I had a little zipper, and I laid that down here, and again, used some of the micro beads on that zipper. Okay. Let's see, let me look. Oh, and then topping it all off, beautiful, beautiful butterflies from Renee's shop. These butterflies are the Tiny Treasure butterflies. Okay, this one, which you guys have seen me use a lot, is the ice. It's just like a clear butterfly. It's got a little bit of a gray undertone to it, and it's got the diamond glitter glass over the top. And then this one is called Snow White. Again, a kind of a silver grayish butterfly with some, this is new to me, I have not got this one before, with some diamond glitter glass and stuff on the top of that. Okay. I hope that she likes it. I hope you guys like this. I had super fun doing it, and I love how all the texture and the splatters and everything came out. So anyway, I will have all the links down below to everything Reneabouquets, of course, and the link to my blog and Pinterest account. I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.